stronger. Gauri Shankar writes that courageous, artistic aptitude, etc. All these are clinically verified rubrics, not seen in proving. Can we take these rubrics for repertorization? This is a question, very good question asked by Gauri Shankar. So now, those who agree with everything what Gauri Shankar has written, ambitious, everyone agrees.
So can I see the chat box or let them open and answer?
Yeah, those who want to
can unmute and answer.
Unmute and answer. Be active. Be active like this lady.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So ambitious, everyone agrees. Optimistic.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Courageous.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Hopeful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If
Yes,
you are
sir.
taking optimistic, do you think hopeful is needed?
Mm,
No,
not
sir.
needed.
No, sir.
Not needed. So should we make a, you see, something problem? Now elements from grief. Yeah. Should we take it?
No. No, sir.
No. Those who say yes should tell us who want to take and who don't want to take. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So some say yes,
Yes,
some
sir.
say no. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So my question,
Yes, sir.
what is this rubric? Elements from grief is, what is this rubric? What do you understand by this rubric? When it should be taken? Do you want to say that whenever there is a grief in the life of a person, we should take it?
No, sir.
Sir,
Very serious question.
yeah, there is one answer given.
After effects of grief.
After effect of grief. You mean to say that there is a grief incidence and the patient is still in the grief, then we should take?
No, sir.
Then
Dr. Bhavana Rodriguez says inner suffering of the patient.
So,
From grief, suffering should start.
So it should be taken in acute, according to me. Ailments from grief. If the
So it
case is
should be
very
taken in acute.
in acute cases, sir.
So usually it should be taken in the acute and not in the
Long-standing chronic, it becomes stale, I feel.
Okay, who agrees? Who is telling this one?
So me, Dr. Kusum Hegde.
Okay, Dr. Kusum.
Hegde.
So
Hegde.
you think that, yes, I understand. Dr. Kusum Hegde is telling that it should be taken more in acute dimension. In the chronic, she has some reservations. Okay, yes. Yes, who don't agree with Dr. Hegde? Yes.
Sir, I think element should start from grief. That is the rubric for element from grief. I mean, suffering should start after a grief. Then even in chronic cases, if some suffering start after grief incidents, then we can take this element from grief.
Okay. So according to you, if there is a history of grief 10 years back, and now the patient has psoriasis.
Uh, after the incidence of grief, if psoriasis starts, then we can take the elements from grief.
Okay. So in the last 10 years, the patient has been suffering from psoriasis, and it developed after the incidence of grief. Then this rubric, according to you, because it is connected to psoriasis, it should be taken.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Who doesn't agree with this cause-effect relationship? Yes. Yes.
So, sir, if there is a sadness or disappointment in a strong form and it's going on, and after that the person uh, has got the grief, like disappointment in love or
Mhm.
lost somebody who's very near, and he was very attached to that person. It's a strong blow. So then it is happening. That thing has uh, changed the life. So then we can take it as silent grief.
Okay, why you take it as a silent grief? What is the meaning of the word silent grief?
Uh, the patient is not complaining of that thing,
Mhm.
but inside it has
Mhm.
given a blow to the person, is affected, but
Mhm.
doesn't mention it all the time about it. But definitely pathology and other reactions happen after that incident.
Mhm.
That way
Okay,
she
take for
doesn't
example.
express only like to close
नहीं
people.
बेटा
She doesn't express
ये
it
केस
out
करना
all the
है
time.
कैसे कर
uh,
तो अंदर कपड़े
that is silent grief. So,
Okay. Now I am asking you a question.
So one, can I say?
Yes.
Here what I felt was element from grief.
Mhm.
She was very clear in her video. She had said that her painting reflected colors of life, but they couldn't see the pain that was there hidden. Okay. So element of grief could be seen right now in her video when she was saying also it could be seen on observation on her facial expression. You could see that there was some sort of a, that tears that is something that is holding her. So at this point, I don't know whether we can have to take it right now, but because it is suppressed right now or this, there could be a layers of it, but it could be considered at present or no. That is a question, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Okay.
Sir, I
Now,
want to say
yes.
something.
Yes.
There is one more rubric, a simple grief, and there is another rubric, grief elements from. Third rubric is grief silence. So these three rubrics are different. When person is having a grief, we take only grief. If that grief is silent, I mean he cannot express that grief, then we can take that grief silent. And if elements start after grief, then we can take that element grief element from. This is my understanding of these three rubrics.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Anyone wants to say something more? Yes.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
In this case, I think only that silent grief is to be considered.
Silence should be taken. Yes.
Yes,
Why? Why?
because she was suffering uh, for many months in
Yes.
this, and no one is understanding her. And she itself told us in this video that she is that suffering is silent. She was suffering. She told her brother to bring the colors. She wants to add some colors to life and everything. But I think this was that silent grief should be considered.
Okay. 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 So I would like to now give my opinion. First thing is that the three rubrics which have been told are different rubrics. Very right. When we talk about elements from grief, we connect the illness part to the incidence of the grief. We define the grief, maybe bereavement, maybe disappointment, maybe sadness because of loss or something, anything. Loss in business could be a cause of grief also. So, grief as a cause and consequent suffering part of a human being, mental or physical, you can definitely relate it to the incidence of the grief. Then you must take the rubric ailments from grief. But this is not so easy. During the process of the time, because time is also one of the healers for a human being, he forgets the grief. So the intensity of the grief progressively diminishes. This has been very clearly mentioned in psychology and psychiatry. Reactive depression and chronic depression. Reactive depression lies for 4 weeks, maximum 6 weeks. If the patient has beyond 6 weeks reactive depression following grief, following the so-called elements after grief, then it is deeper. The patient is likely to go into psychiatric clinical depression. Otherwise, almost 99% people recover from the incidence of the grief. Are you with me? So, reactive
Yes.
depression is a phrase which was studied very well in clinical psychiatry. So, you must know this because we cannot generalize each patient. We homeopaths have the habit to generalize everything and to come to our conclusion very, very rapidly because we are more interested in finding the solution with shortcuts. Such shortcuts are not good. Now, second question which I want to put up. If the patient sustain grief, okay, yes, but over years, he resolve his own grief with determination, with creativity, with his will, with the circumstance of happiness which the patient receive in his lifetime. Now, he is not grieving, he is not sad. Still, do you want to consider the issue of elements from grief? This is a major issue. Are you understanding the question which I am putting before you?
Yes, sir.
I will give you an example. I will give you an example.
Yes, sir.
I had a patient who married with a man who was extremely dictatorial, detached, very dry, and alcoholic, and used to beat her. So her whole life was with a lot of sadness. Then the only son died of leukemia. And this was a very major shock for her because all of her, you see, concentration, focusing, expectation, the only happiness was this, you see, the son. Now, she went into depression. She developed rheumatoid arthritis afterwards. Anyhow, she came in contact with a very good spiritual cult. She continued spiritual following and tried to heal herself. When she came to me, very strong, very, you will find healer of herself who was able to compensate her feeling. I didn't get the feeling that now she is unhappy. Now she is grieving, moaning, sobbing, nothing. It was just a healing with the help of some spiritualism where she was able to heal herself. This is also possible with the human beings. So these rubric elements from grief, although you might have taken in this case, it is not so much operative when it was acute. Therefore, Dr. Kusum Hegde wants to tell that I will give more value to it when it is acute. Because when you want to take this rubric as a chronic, whether it is intense or not, you have to decide. Because human being is always a healer of himself. He is a doctor in himself. So naturally, the dilution of the intensity of the feeling and the same phenomenon of intensity doesn't get continued in the same intense way. Even though you have taken up the rubric, you have every chance not to make it as an eliminating rubric. You can take it as a complementary rubric. You must know the art of playing with the rubrics. Rubric is not something like a Bible or Bhagavad Gita. They have valuation given by the circumstance, given by a human being, given by his life, given by the perceptive filter which he has gone through. Do you understand what I'm telling? I repeat again, the
Yes.
perceptive filter is a very important aspect of a human being in his life. How he takes in and what is the product of it. Maybe suffering is a part of the human being, but healing is also part of the human being. So our adat, our habit, if there is some bereavement, just we take the rubric, elements from grief, is not a right one, because it can be present for 1 mark, for 2 marks, not necessarily for 3 or 4 marks. It is possible. If it is possible that yes, there is a history of grief and the patient is still in the grief, patient has still the suffering being continued, and this continuum process is unstopped. And the patient has to sustain it, he cannot resist it, because that capacity is not present with an individual. This is a weak side of his personality.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sorry to disturb.
Yeah.
If for a mother, if the son got expired,
Yeah.
and no doubt, as you said, she'll come out gradually of that grief.
Yeah.
But in the course of time, whenever the any circumstances or any event around her
Yes.
got stimulated, then again she starts weeping or recollecting or suffering from that. Again, she'll come down.
Correct.
In such situations also, shall we consider or shall we not?
You must take. You must take, because it happens on anniversary date. On anniversary, by some incidences which are likely to lacerate the wound of the grief. So the wound being lacerated because of some circumstance makes that wound fresh. So naturally, if such incidences are making the wound fresh, non-healing, more lacerated, you must take the rubric elements from grief. This is the idea. When Gauri Shankar is telling this one, the idea is that who keeps the wound fresh and individual? His own mind, his memory box, which allows the expression of the grief to come up. So in such a circumstance, you must take elements from grief even as a eliminating rubric. I'm just trying to understand how many dimensions are involved when we take up a rubric. This is the idea. So, for example, I had a patient on the day of anniversary of the son's death. Mother used to weep a lot, and she used to suffer from hysterical seizure. Every year she had to be admitted, and this was going on since the last 6-7 years. So, not to take the rubric elements from grief is a not good idea, because it is alive, it is fresh, it is intense. It causes so many bad memories onto the surface that you are able to see convulsion hysteria. You are able to see the somatization. So you must take it. You must take it. Now, in this case, I have to ask you, should you take it? You have seen the video. Should you take it?
No, sir, we should not.
Not in this case, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, I will tell you. You see now.
Because she has come over.
Yes, correct. So the idea is that she has come over. She has used her resources for healing. She knew her resources. What is very important in this case is a person knows his resources and then he uses them. He has the potential, he uses the potential, and then the result is before you. Then all this mobilization of the resources, mental resources especially, is the greatest advantage in this case. What are the mental resources? You see, will, drive, and motivation. These three are important resources for the human being. And we have a lot of rubrics related to them. We can study them because this is not the purpose of today's discussion, and we will require a lot of more time to get addressed to all these issues. But we will do it. in our several webinar series, we will be doing a lot of exercises in order to make our mind more mature and understandable. This is the idea. Okay. So in this case now, the evidence that she still suffers from it is her trembling voice with some sobbing. When she expresses herself before the audience on the platform, you will find that she has the presentation of the grief also. And it will remain because she is paraplegic. It is a big trauma in her life. So when especially a woman expresses the grief, although she is controlling very well, there is a grief element, but you cannot give more importance to this because this is something which she has been able to overcome it. So you can take it for 1 or maximum 2 marks, and it cannot become an eliminating rubric. If the other mental generals, other dispositional characters are very strong, then you should give importance to those things rather than the incidence of the grief. For example, you see, there is a head injury to a boy, 20-year boy, and the surgeon is asking how the injury occurred. And someone told that while descending from the stairs, he fell down. Now, this incident, descending from the stair and fell down, has very little to do with the causation. The real causation is what kind of the injury. Whether it is a simple injury, complicated injury, perforation injury, anoxic injury, with hemorrhage, without hemorrhage, cerebral edema, all these issues, and more than that, where is the real injury in the head? That is really the worth consideration from the standpoint of a surgeon if he wants to remove a big hematoma. So descending from the stair has very little value. Value is for how much is the hematoma, how much is the perforation, how much is the anoxic, hypoxic variety of the brain injury. This matters, you see. So the cause is by that way only an initiating factor for the system to come out with some, you see, consequential part related to the personality. Are you with me? Do you understand the process? I will give you one very good case which I have already presented in many webinars. The case is of a, you see, 29-year-old girl from Europe. She had a romantic relation with a boy when she was 17 years of age. She fell in love and it was a great love as usual, the first love, and she became pregnant. And she didn't want to terminate the pregnancy. In Europe, this is common. They don't think that marriage is essential or something other issues are social norms are essential. She wanted to be a mother, and now she didn't want this man, this boy. You get my idea? Because she is not looking upon this boy as a husband. So she continued the pregnancy. She delivered a baby. Then she wanted that the relationship should be continued, and this boy left her. So according to her, pregnancy is not a big issue for me. The big issue is that this boy who left me, and she went into psychiatric depression. The age is 17, 18. She was admitted. She wanted to commit suicide. She was under, you see, psychiatric antidepressants for a long time, something like more than 6-8 months. Then she came out of the situation. Then she started doing the job. And while doing the job, she fell in love with another man at her age of something 25 or 26. Then they got married and they had another child. So with these two children and with this husband, she's continuing her life very well. There is no issue of grief. Everything is all right. Then she started suffering from a very typical strange sensation. The sensation is that she is somewhere alone in the sky. And there is a cage around her like a prison. And she wants to come down on the earth. And she cannot. Now she started having this complaint after 27 years of her life. She sustained disappointment in love at 17 years, so 10 years after. Now, these frequent spells of this feeling of being separated from the earth, and she was somewhere imprisoned in the sky, was such intense that she started waking up at night. And she just wants to, see where I am. And when she knew that, no, there is no sky, there is no cage, then someone has to pacify her and she will go to sleep. As the frequency increased, she went to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist diagnosed it as, some form of schizophrenia. And he gave antipsychotic remedies, which she doesn't want to take. She read them on the internet and told that I don't want to take them. They have huge side effects. And I am not at all schizophrenic. I understand everything. I'm a very intelligent lady. I have 2 children. I nurture them very well. And really, she's intelligent. Now, the situation is that what is the definition of her disease? You can say before schizophrenia, there is a hallucinatory syndrome, which can culminate into schizophrenia. You read schizophrenia, there are a lot of hypotheses, a lot of entry points. So the issue of this case is that what is the definition of her disease? No one can say. These are the problems. Because we humans have developed some definition based on groups of symptoms, signs, and the course of the disease. Sometimes something strange happens where in these boxes you cannot incorporate patient's sensations and symptoms. And this is the greatest advantage in psychiatric cases to homeopath. He can treat directly the sensations. I studied this case very well, and I was able to understand actuality. In this particular case, she was a very honest, down-to-earth, realistic woman, and she is in extreme need of love from every family member. And she used to receive it. Her parents are very nice, her brother and one sister very nice. Her maternal grandmother was extremely affectionate. So the issue is not of deprivation. The issue is she is one with the family right from the beginning. And this oneness is her longing. And when there is no oneness, she suffers a lot. She cannot tolerate separation of the family. When maternal grandmother died of old age at a very 95 years of age, she was ill for more than 5 years, but she went into, again, depression. She didn't take any psychiatric treatment, however, because she understood that I have to heal myself with my own will. Now, to cut short the story, because this is not the purpose, the purpose is that this particular sensation, I am separated from the earth, plus oneness concept gave me a very promising remedy, that is hydrogen. And with hydrogen, I had a big choice between hydrogen and germanium. I began with hydrogen, much better, and then improvement stopped. I followed it with germanium with very good results. So I made a relationship. Complementary remedy to hydrogen is germanium metallica. Now, you have to understand the whole process. At one pole, you can say that I want to relate this case with the elements from disappointment in love that occurred 10 years before. then why the system didn't suffer from such a long time, almost for 10 years? And whether she's suffering from some depression at present? No. So you require now some concept to evolve. To understand this delusion is our job. Delusion is not important. To understand the delusion is very important. So you have dreams. Interpretation of dream is much more important than the dream itself. You can take the dream. So there may be 60, 70 remedies against one dream. So to select a remedy out of that, you require some concept. So naturally, interpretation, conceptual understanding of the patient and of the materia medica is the real basis of homeopathy. Now, if you take into account fears now, in fears, you don't need any interpretation. If they are intense, they are a direct qualified mental symptoms. Fear of dogs, so much that even television looking at the dog causes shivering. Whether there is a history of dog bite? No, not at all. So who generated it? Patient. Who kept it intense? The patient. Then it is very important. So to understand what I am telling out of this interesting case, yes, there may be some amount of depressive psychosis, depressive mental makeup, melancholic state develop after disappointment in love. But when I ask her a question, do you still suffer from the remembrances of this boy? The answer was 200% no, because it was childishness of me. To fall in love at 17 years, I don't know anything. So the system understood the childishness of this. She doesn't engage herself in this boy. So the disappointment issue doesn't now hold the truth. Then what holds the truth? Her own other mental characters which are operative during the process of the years. So within 10 years, she came out with another layer of her mental state. It may be connected diffusely, very minutely to the grief, no one can say. But it is micro in nature. What is mega? Her chronic, consistent dispositional character of being oneness. This is the issue. So our remedy must focus upon what is consistent more. And therefore, I am telling you the causative element in homeopathy, mental or even physical, you must set some limitations to the understanding of them. They come up, they stop at certain level. They cannot be operative over a very long time. This is the understanding. Okay. So I will go. I have to talk more. My voice is low. Okay. 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 Then elements from Greek and about hiding. Yes. Someone, Shankar has written hiding. Yes. What do you mean is painting, none could see her suffering. Yes. Yes. Can we take this rubric hiding? Yeah. Gauri Shankar, you should not tell now. Okay. Someone should tell me.
Yeah. Those who want to answer can unmute and answer.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
Sir,
talk,
I think we need not to take this because she is not trying to hide anything. Nobody can understand her suffering.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Who doesn't agree with Nita? Yes. Now, whether she is in chronic, consistent hiding, this is a very simple question. No?
No.
Then it is not important.
No.
And anyone, you see, any human being is not stramonium, no. Although he may not be Ignatia or cyclamen. Please stop the voice, please. You see, the theme of hiding, it is the intention of a person to hide something. The person is security. The person has the habit of hiding since a very long time, and this is a personality character, then it is important. Any person who has a grief and so many incidences in the life, this is a weak part of the life. So naturally, no one gives you weak part so readily, no? So it is a natural defense of the body, not to show the weakness part of the life, you see. So I don't think this is very important to hide. Rather, the way in which she changed herself, she came with, you see, television. She has become an anchor. She has been associated with many organizations in an open way. And if you see her video, she's so open, so transparent. So the issue of hiding now no more is existent. So it should not be taken. Okay. So we will go now. Want of perfection. Yes. I mean, want of perfection. Want means lack of perfection, you want to say? Or want of perfection means she wants perfection. Yes, Gauri Shankar. What do you want to say? Because we use the word want in terms of not available. Want of, you see, desire means I have no desire. Yeah.
In whatever the work she had undertaken, she want to be on high. That's what I thought of.
Okay. Now, the issue of perfectionism is altogether a very different issue. When you want to perform in a perfect way because you want something like a result which should be like this one. I mean, I work in a methodical way and I get the result out of it, like the mathematical calculations which we do. So the concept of the perfection is, you see, more related to the work, the methodology, which should be flawless. Flawless methodology so that I can have a perfect result which I wish and which I am able to give. The human being, the technology has come to this state only because the people are working perfectly. Now, the issue in this case is not a perfection. The issue in this case is to know the potential, to ignite the potential, and to be before you as a capable woman with deprivation of something, where she is able to overcome the deprivation. She has no legs, you see. The legs are there. There is no power in the legs, but there is a power in her mind. So the issue is not a perfection. That is a different line. She may be perfect, but this data you cannot have from the presentation herself. But she is definitely knowing very well. Her perceptions are very clear. Her intentions are very clear. And she just mesmerizes you with a methodical speech also. So it is likely that she is a fastidious, she is a perfectionist woman. But more data is required, which is a personal data, which we require to understand the depth of it. Okay. Then a very important point has been told, courageous artistic aptitude. These are clinically verified rubrics, not seen in the proving. Should we take them? This is a very important question of today's webinar, you see. Because after a long time, I got this idea through the question, should we give importance if it is clinically verified? The answer to this question is yes. If it is clinically verified, it must be taken. Most of the rubrics of behavior of the humans have come out of 260 years clinical verifications by thousands of homeopaths who follow the law of similars. So naturally, you must take them. Rather, clinically verified is a word which shows you that the action is confirmed. So why you should not take them? Although you have to double check them during the clinical interview. They have their own value. Therefore, many of the pathological rubrics which we take have a definite value also. Although I don't like the idea to take the disease nomenclature as a rubric, it has also clinically verified data. So in those mental general subset, physical general subset, you have to prescribe upon pathological data. So in such cases, if you take a disease level and give value to the clinical, you are not wrong. Try to get PQRS, okay, but if you don't get them, are you crying? No, we have to go ahead with whatever pathological simillimum which we have to give. This is the idea. Okay. Then Hiten has come out with very good observations. He has directly given us the rubrics. Okay, I will make it here. Okay, he has taken art ability for, because before the accident, she was an artistic. During suffering, she showed her artwork. And now she's also doing the artwork. So art ability for means artistic temperament is her dispositional character right from the beginning, bearing the incidence of trauma. Therefore, it becomes a very important aspect of her personality. Then elements from injuries and incidents. Yeah. Now, in a way, we analyze the grief as an injury. Now we are understanding the physical injury part of this. Should we take it or not? Yes, in her life, the incidents, big incidents of trauma occurred. But now she has come out of the state. She found her own way, which people don't find in the life. A will find a way. This is very important in life. Have you find your way in the life? I often ask this question to the disappointment people. Have you find your way? If you don't find it first. This woman has found her way. So the issue of injury is over now. Yes, when this patient might have consulted you, when there is a fresh injury and she is suffering, now that part is over. Paraplegia is a reality in her life. We, with homeopathy, we will try our best whether it is possible to help her, provided she becomes a homeopathic patient. Otherwise, according to allopathy, paraplegia is now eternal for her. Okay, so this rubric is not important. Then fear happens something with horror. I think she has come out of the fears. So it is better we should not give more value to them. Rather, I will say that she has gone to the other pole of being more courageous. And when she decided, yes, if you see, there is a sentence in the first 5 to 10 minutes that is, I am fine now. The change that occurred in me was a real transformation. What she says is about her perception of the change which occurred. So I don't think she is a lady of something like a timidity. So fears are not very important in this case. Yes, delusion, wrong, suffered wrong. Yes. This is a very good rubric, but when it should be taken? When it should be taken? When you are wrongly suffering part of your life, you have suffered wrongly. She was not prone to have an accident. The accident occurred because of the sleep problem of the husband. So why she should be a party to it? So husband is safe. She is not, you see, safe from this. She had to bear the consequences of this. So it is natural that why me? She has written, she has told why me. So Actually, when a person says, why me? He gives you this delusion. Why me? I'm very unfortunate. Wrongly I suffered. This is the rubric when actually an injustice has been done. Someone tried to, you see, slander you. Someone tried to, you see, give you the feeling that you are wrong, you are that, you are wrong, although you are not wrong. And now you start feeling within. So what is this feeling? Yes, wrong I suffered. Then this rubric should be taken. This is not the state in this case. Although she suffered wrongly, because she doesn't dwell with this delusion, rather the reality. I suffered badly, I suffered badly. This is a reality for her. Yes, I suffered, although I was not driving. It was the mistake of my husband. So what? It is a reality which is acceptable to her. So there is no delusion. And she has gone away from this reality of the trauma and entered into a different phase of her life, which is very important. So healing from that standpoint has already occurred with her. Okay, then sympathetic. Yeah. Now there are a lot of rubrics: compassionate, sympathetic, benevolence, empathy, or altruism. These are the 5 rubrics which are connected with each other. So we have to study each rubric in depth. Okay. Rather than taking the sympathetic as a emotional character of this lady, I would like to go at a different level to express herself. I think she is a very noble lady. She understood the purpose of life, which very few people understand in their life. This trauma brought it out. She could have been a very common girl had it not been the trauma, I say. So what trauma did for her? It ignited something within of nobility, of human values, of humanitarian approach to the life. And as a human being, what is my role? This is the concept of the philosophy. This is the concept of the spiritualism. Animal man. Man as a human becoming a god. Every religion will tell you the same thing. There is a God within you. Do you know this? Have you tried to understand it? Have you tried to play with it? Or you have kept it buried over years? This is the question. And this is a very serious question every religion is asking since millions of years. Those who understand become spiritual. Those who don't understand remain human, like human animals. So the whole concept is, you see, superhuman. The whole concept is divinity in a human being. I think we have to understand this case at that level, you see. And this is a very big level, very great level, very noble level, which a homeopath must perceive. Which is this level? I am better than a human animal. And I want to now live as a true human, as a soul, not only as a body, not only as a mind. Because our mind and our body, you know, so much dirty. We can't explain to others also. Very dirty people we are. Do you agree with me? When you look at spiritualism, then and then only you will understand that we are dirty human animals, you see. So from that standpoint, rather than sympathetic, because sympathy is related to compassion as a human being's character. Compassion is not a, you see, a primary emotion of a human being. Primary emotion is love. Out of the love, there is a super added secondary emotion which is created. That is compassion. What is compassion? You feel affection for the others. You are concerned for the others. you want to work as a human being with a very noble mind inside. So it is a overpowering love, and all these bad, you see, emotions are subdued because of the love as a character. So I would like to give here more importance to benevolence as a character. Altruism is a cross word for this. In altruism, you do more a social work also. In benevolence, the word is more, John will be able to understand this more better, because benevolence as a word is more related to the Christianity, where you will find a Pope gives the blessing to the others because he is benevolent. We have the same concept in our Hindu culture. Even in Islam, you will find the same theme, that Allah is benevolent. Why he is benevolent? Because he has the power to grace you. Who graces? Who has the power? Who can't grace others is powerless, you see. Okay, then we have elements from grief. I have clearly fear separation of husband from. Yes, might be at that particular level, she had the fear of separation of the husband. Now you have to understand that she is a Baluchi woman. Her life, her training, her circumstance around in the society is a man-powered society, a male-powered society. So naturally, the women are subjected to submissiveness. You have to just work yielding and slave. So there is a kind of a slavery of the woman. So on the background of this, divorce is a big issue, you see. In Europe, you go there, you will find that divorces are fairly common, you see. You don't have a big reason to get separated. But in Baluchi, it is difficult, you see. So naturally fear that who will nurture me in my life with this accident. So on the background of that, separation of the husband is a natural issue. So you should not take it as a rubric. And then comes positiveness. Yeah, she is definitely positive, but I think positiveness is the result of something. So rather than to take the rubric positive, it is better to take those rubrics which contain the positiveness and which are motivators for a human being to be more positive. You get my idea? The idea is that this rubric is connected to that rubric. That rubric is more embarrassing, more embracing, more powerful, more wide. So the idea is that when the rubric is wide, many sub-rubrics become a part of this. For example, you need 10,000 rupees and someone give you 1 lakh rupees. So you will not go on asking other people give me 1,000 rupees and 2,000 rupees and 10,000 rupees, because your work is over with one man. So in the same way, if a rubric is very powerful, it includes many other sub-rubrics automatically. Our job is now to find a correct rubric that corresponds to the entire state. Then that rubric is more appropriate because that gives you a better selection of the remedy. Okay. Then I will not go with others. Obedient. Yeah. Rather than obedient, I think she had not understood that she had to be rebellious. So obedience is not her character. It is a carry-on procedure during those times of her life. It cannot become therefore a rubric. Okay, artistic. Okay, hopeful we have taken courageous, perseverant. Yeah, there is a cross reference to perseverance, that is tenacity. Those people who are tenaciously adhering to the work, and they finish the work with great perseverance, like going to the trekking for uh, you see mountains, Everest mountain. How much perseverance is required? I had a patient UPC examination. He sat 11 times and then passed out. Perseverance. There are few patients, neurotic patients, who are attending the clinic of a homeopath for years together. Perseverance. Although they don't feel better, they continue the medication because it is their appetite, it is their need. And it doesn't mean that they are perseverant. They may be perseverant in taking of the pills. You have to see the life. You have to see the life. Whether the life is characterized by perseverance of the work. Okay? In this case, yeah, she is not giving up. Because she has found her way, she is not giving up. So perseverance is her character, which we have to appreciate at large. Then strong-willed. Yes, very good. Her will is very strong, drive is very strong, and motivation is also very strong. And what is important in this case, she doesn't require motivation and drive from other people. She herself is able to generate motivation, able to generate the drive, and to give impetus to the will. This is the character of this lady. Okay, then spine paraplegia. So it is paraplegia. Paralysis, lower limbs is a rubric for this, not spine paraplegia. Okay, then multiple fractures. They were in the past. So not now, they are very important. So you should not take them. Okay. Now there is a rubric which has been taken by Nonita, high spirited. Yeah, she is high spirited. Her spirit is extraordinary. I mean, if we had been in her place, we have to see whether we will have such a spirit. Difficult, although we are doctors. So you can take this rubric. Then ambitious, yeah. Creative, okay. Elements from mental shock, no. Elements from silent grief, no. Fear, overpowering, no. Courageous, okay. Sobbing while telling her complaints, which I think this is not an extraordinary great sobbing like Ignatia. It is a kind of a very good control. Do you understand the way in which she is controlling her emotions? Can you first explain, define the way the experience she has gone through? This experience is very bad for a young 18-year-old beautiful lady who is intelligent, who has command over English, whose perception is very clear. See a big incidence in her life, and therefore such a sobbing is natural, you see. It doesn't mean that it is a rubric. A rubric is one which must have an intensity. Otherwise, 1-2 mark rubric are always present with the human beings because humans are like this. They are creatures created by the so-called God. Okay? There are very good entries. Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I got it.
Okay. Now, Jitendra Singh has given what is characteristic according to him is although she was not loved or cared by the husband, she didn't have grudge against him, loved him, and prayed for him also. This is very important. And Jitendra Singh has brought a very important point. What is unusual for her? What is peculiar for her? She doesn't harbor jealousy. She doesn't harbor negativity. She doesn't go for any hatred feeling to linger upon. She heals so much herself that remains only thanks and gratitude and love, and you have your own life, which I respect. This must be covered by a remedy which you want to do. Such an unusual maturity of the mind, the rational thinking. Yes, everyone will go by his disposition. This is understanding of the karma. So he will go by his karma. And don't think that because she is a sufferer, she is inferior. And that husband who ran away from her is superior. Don't think because he didn't have paraplegia. This thinking is wrong. Sickness is a lesson for human being. I repeat again, sickness is the best teacher for a human being. Any sickness, provided he looks at it from the standpoint of the lesson. It is a very different story. I gave once a seminar only on health. For 3 hours, I was talking on health. What is the definition of health? And today we have to understand all these ideas. What is health, you see? What is health? Okay. I was looking for a rubric forgiving, but the cross reference to the mind is benevolent. Yes. So benevolence is a very good rubric for this case. Okay. Nature love. She's loving and caring for all. It doesn't mean she loves the nature. You have no evidence of this. Yes. It is very certain that she is a very loving, compassionate, sympathetic, benevolent lady. High spirited. Okay. We covered mind weeping when speaking of a sickness. It is common with given the intensity of the great suffering, artistic, and the remedies carcinosinum. We will think of this. Now, Kusum Hegde has come out. This female through and through is strong-willed. The rubrics are strong-willed, obedient. We have dealt mild. Now, in which way you want to use the word mild? The mild rubric in our repertory is related to yielding character. There is other rubric for this is called as the meekness. MEEKNESS. When you are meek means modest, humble. She is not mild, you see. She is strong-willed, but polite, but graceful. You understand? She's a graceful lady, you see, like
Yes,
a
sir.
bird remedy. See the way in which she captivates you. With nobility, with her words, she knows when to take the pause. As a very established orator, she is before you. So her expressions, her eyes, her facial configuration, everything is very graceful. So we want to give a remedy which has a grace in it, although also controlling. And control as a word in her life is very important. She never goes for bad intention, negative emotions in her life when she understood the self, when she perceives where lies her own self in her life. Okay, all these points are there. We have already discussed, and in this repertorization, we have sulfur, Naxwamica, lachesis, belladonna, phosphorus, carcinosinum. Okay. Mental shock, optimistic, ambition, we have already taken into account. Despair, recovery. No. She doesn't need now paraplegic recovery. Because it may be the truth which she has accepted that I am paraplegic. With paraplegia, I have to understand within me how human I am. So this issue of despair recovery doesn't available today. It was available after the trauma for few months only. So generally it is paralysis. You can take because this is a reality. Okay. Then Rekha Bansal has come out with courageous, strong will, artistic, hidden grief, compassionate. Then scientific homeopathy. This participant has given artistic mildness, bearing without outrageous. Yeah. The idea is that one has to be outrageous naturally against the husband, for example, but she is not. So from that angle, this rubric is a very good rubric. And I must thank the participant for giving this rubric to all of us. But this rubric is not applicable here because this is a kind of a rubric once you understand the benevolent character, strong will character, and all other positive characters which she has, then naturally these all characters are so big that this character gets dissolved with the big rubric. Then comes silent grief, which we have discussed. Then any point? Yeah. fear of unknown, losing money, separation, living alone, losing reason, acceptance. These were the fears in the past, and she is explaining one by the other. Why? Because she's intelligent, because she has words, because she has chronology in the mind. So she is able to give you that all you see expressions of the mind which she has. Dipali Baltake has given elements from domination, children in parental control. Yeah, you have known history of this. The history was that the society is male-dominated society, but you don't have the specific history of being dominated by the husband. Retrospectively speaking, you can say that yes, husband might be domineering. Or he could be dry, just a distant man like mercury, like opium, like calcarea floricum or acid floricum. We don't know. Then pleasing desire to please others. She doesn't want to please anyone. Rather, her view is to express the nobility. And don't make a mistake. Pleasing others is a manipulation by the people, which lycopodium does, for example. Opium does, for example. Because by pleasing others, you have to gain something. You become opportunistic, you become selfish, and therefore you want to please others. This is a concept of appeasement, where you will find our lycopodium ranks high. The issue is that she is not before you to please the people. The way in which she is narrating her life history is for the sake of motivation to you. Okay, fear, abandon of being. I think she doesn't need someone that you need someone. She is a self-generated woman who has understood herself very well. So even though husband abandoned her, she's not crying over it. She's not lamenting. Husband went away. Husband went away. He disturbed me. He disturbed me. No. Thanks to him, fine. I am fine. You are fine. Okay. Then mild elements of optimistic, hesitated, creative, disappointed. No. She was disappointed. Not now. Lots of years. Where present? Not now. Courageous. Okay. Hobby painting. It is not hobby. It is the artistic aptitude of her. Silent grief not available. Incompatibility in marriage. No. It is very difficult to say. Only because the husband left her out of the paraplegia. The issue is that you see incompatibility for husband and wife. I have a opinion about this that when two persons are you see coming together of different types, there is always some amount of incompatibility. And I think in this incompatibility also there is a beauty of life. If they are similar in everything, then life will become more boredom. There must be some difference. There must be some liveliness of a different perception and level. Then there is a more freshness and liveliness in the life. So the issue here is not the incompatibility. It proved that he was a man of a different nature, human animal. So on the basis of that, you cannot come to this conclusion. Weeping, sadness, no, they are not available. Spirit of survival and fight. Yeah, this is the theme. Prioritize what she wants. Yeah, because her perception is clear. So there is a rubric I will tell you, perception clear. This is a very important rubric. What do you want to say about this rubric? Yes, anyone can tell me. Are you with me? Because I am talking. Are you with me? Do you like what I tell you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you see,
Yes, sir.
there is a rubric, you see, perceptive, insightful. You understand? A very important rubric. perceptive, insightful. A person who is introspective, person who has a depth of understanding. Someone has given a very good rubric, introspective in this case, we will see. And the other one is thoughtful. The person who is thoughtful of something means serious, means comprehensive understanding, and he is going to have a good amount of comprehension. This is the idea. So her perception, by the way, is insightful. You see, she understands what is life, which we don't understand. This is the difference, no major. Leave aside her paraplegia. As a human being, are you close to her? Ask yourself. Manjusha has come out with domination, affectionate, art, ability, benevolence, mind, content. Yeah. I think this is a rubric which is to be understood when you have every reason to be discontented and still you are contented. Then it is a very important rubric. Actually, I have to say that if it is a rational, contented mind, it has a value. Many children are contented. You see, you beat them, you see, scorn them, but immediately within few minutes they are with you as if they have forgotten everything and they are ready to laugh with you. So, do you want to say every child is contented? No. So the theme is that a person has to be dissatisfied, but he is not. Then contented rubric must be correlated with other associations of the mind. For example, childishness. A childishness is also a feature with contented. You know, mentally retarded children, they have no emotions. The only emotion they have is making a smile. You see, I treated many cases of children. We have a adopted here at my city school, and I give them since a very long time free treatment for many children. And my research project was to treat such cases. And I found that such a innocent smile the children have, no any other emotion which is drawn on the canvas of the face. Innocence, just innocence, just child, you see. No emotion of anger, no emotion of resentment, no emotion of grief. What is this, you see? So do you want to tell that all these children are contented? No. Contented, therefore, is a very big rubric. You can take this rubric for spiritual people who have left no wish now, like Raman Maharshi, like Swami Vivekananda. There is no wish for them now. If you ask them, do you want to live more in your life? They will tell you, no, I'm so satisfied now. Even if God will carry me, I'm ready, ever ready. This is contented. Okay, then dwells, recalls on the past disagreeable memories. She doesn't. And even if she does, while telling you before the audience, the purpose is different. The purpose is not lamenting and dwelling on the past to cause the grief more. You know, brooding is actually adding fuel to the fire of grief. And this fuel causes laceration of the wound by brooding ointment. Are you with me? Brooding is an ointment which makes the wound more lacerated. And the patient is always thinking of the past and past and past. And he doesn't find the present meaningful, present pleasant. This is a psychotic miasmatic state of the mind. The most pronounced remedy for this is Natrum muriaticum. Okay, so yielding personality, she is not yielding, she is a fighter. Fighting spirit, accident, disappointment, strong will, solution finder. Yeah, this is a very good idea. She wants to resolve the problem. This is the reason now she has become a very popular amongst the NGOs and many organizations. Why? the ability to solve the questions, which is a rare ability for very few people. You know, it is said that only 3% people rule the universe, our planet. 97% we are all slaves, you see. But if I tell you you are a slave, you will be angry with me. Please don't be angry. Okay? So love colors. Yeah, she loves drawing, and drawing cannot be without the colors. So rather than focusing on love colors, it is better to say she loves her life. Okay, grief, romantic, beautiful, wants to be the center of attraction. No, this is your interpretation. Even if she is not on the audience, she has found her way. So audience is a part of her now big work. Yeah, maybe it is a big solace to her. Maybe it is the greatest pleasure to her. Okay, so this is her mental makeup, which is helping her. So what is wrong with it? When we take into account the rubrics, we have to see whether they are healthy or whether they are pathological. Pathological rubrics are more important. Then when healthy rubrics are important, as Jitendra was telling, she has to be more hatred towards husband. She is not. This healthy rubric is exceptional, very essentially peculiar. Therefore, it is very important. I had such a case of a cancer. I reported this case in many seminars in the world also. That was a case of a, you see, 26-year-old girl. She had astrocytoma 2 times, operated. And she had a right-sided hemiplegia secondary to second surgery of the brain. And soon after surgery, she had metastasis, and she was given the life of not more than 3 months. And she was with me for more than 3.5 years, with only 2 doses of carcinosinum being given at an interval of 2 years. And her character was, her husband and her in-laws left her when the second surgery was performed, and she was only with her parents, Maheri. And when I went to see her and started taking the history, mother of the patient started blaming the husband and other relatives. And she told, these are my people, don't blame them. This is carcinosis. Okay, so you see, when I am teaching a lot of issues.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
In this case, what you just revealed, if the lady says, don't blame anyone, even that it is carcinosin, then if she doesn't say, no, they are my people, just say, no, don't blame anyone. If it is the response.
No. In her case, don't blame my in-laws is a very mature understanding of what is happening. She has an acceptance mode that the people are like this, but these people are my people. The idea to give carcinosin is this one, because carcinosin also remedy for oneness, like germanium, like hydrogen, like even some very classic phosphorus patients. The idea is not only one sentence, you see. You have to go beyond the sentence. Who said the sentence? On which background? What are the other associations of the mind? Then you are able to give value to the sentence. Sentences are sentences. They have a value based upon concomitants, not otherwise. And mind never uses the solo or mono UC words. They are always with something deeper, something unknown, something mysterious, which we have to uncover by proper understanding and proper clinical interview. This is the idea. Okay?
Sir, we have crossed half an hour, 4:35.
Okay. So how many minutes I have?
Actually, we are supposed to have for 1 hour. We went to 1.5 hours.
Okay,
30
so I
minutes
will
more.
be just now.
You started the module today or you're starting it on Sunday?
Okay.
The people are wondering.
I will complete this case and
Yeah, just wind up this another 5 minutes.
Okay. Anita Jadhav has come out. She is like a you see Phoenix. Okay, she has come out with a very good rubric, that is ardent. I like this rubric very much. Now the ardent is a rubric. In the dictionary, the meaning is very enthusiastic and you see passionate. The combination of being passionate and being very enthusiastic is ardent. So this rubric is appropriate for this case. Okay. Jayashree Patil has come out with many observations of the same type. The real iron lady would come up after injury, but with touch of humanity and inspiration. Okay. Then she could actually feel the labor pains. I think this feeling was intense with death. Now, in which issue she said this is you have to understand. You see, this issue is about the child. When she knew that she cannot have her own child, she was depressed because the whole issue is about motherhood. Then the second issue came up, you see, when she received a note that you can adopt a child. In literature, she expresses you, it is like a labor pain. Now you have to understand this. Her expectation and her, you see, motherhood being covered. So the word comes up, labor pains. So you should not take this word, you see, as it is verbatim to select the remedy. Okay? Yeah. Then everything is clear. I don't want to go something deeper and something different. I will go for this. Pooja Kadi has come out with introspective. It's a real rubric in this case also because she has given that I started, you see, going within myself and I wanted to understand the life and live the life to the self and it was just like a flash for her. Ashwini Damle has come out with a submissive woman, which she is not. Then rubric she has come out with. Perseverance she has come out with. So Priya has come out with motivation strong. So we now come to the final understanding of this case. Of course, she is not our patient, but I want to treat her with the remedy. And the remedy which I want to give to her. This is my, you see, what should we call it? Repertorization. I will be just going to you deeper. Yeah. I took 15 rubrics. Out of them, I combined 4 rubrics and made one totality out of this, which I will show you. This is a Radar Opus software, which has the theme of combining features. So I have this case, video small rubrics, video large rubrics. So this is the large rubrics of 15, which I showed you. And this one is the small one, where I combine 4 rubrics together. And here you are able to see sulfur, silica, Naxomica, lachesis, lycopodium, phosphorus, and carcinosinum. And the remedy of this case is carcinosinum. Okay, carcinosinum matches at all levels. It matches also at the level of something comes from within where she wants to go against the social norm, like rebelliousness. In absolute homeopathic materia medica, we have already given the rebellious character of the carcinosinum. The analogy is the doctrine of signature of cancer cells are always defiant, always rebellious, and do not follow the universal norm of trillions of cells that remain in symbiosis. And lack of symbiosis, failure of symbiosis is the very basis of genesis of cancer. Okay, so we have completed this video. I have completed my analysis. I don't want to go for the second video now. Instead, I will prefer if you have any questions related only to this case.
Yes, sir. So before we take up the question, my suggestion is at least 50% of those who are attending today are not registered for the webinar. So you can just rather the module 1.
Okay.
So
I
maybe you
must
can
tell
highlight the
you-
module 1.
I will tell you. Now, this is a series which we have begun. The series is, you see, just I am giving lecture and you are listening is not the series. What we are teaching you is a deep analysis of the cases, deep understanding of homeopathy. And I'm very sure by attending these modules, you will gain a lot and lot. And within a span of around 6 months to 1 year, you will have ample material to fall back on, ample material to study, to look at homeopathy to a very different perceptive level of deep nature, which homeopathy is. And fortunately, I'm a man of work, I'm a man of information, I'm a man of collation, I'm a man of creativity. So naturally, you must take the benefit of this. I always say that foreigners take the benefit of me, but Indians not. It is only because of people like John and others that I am in the limelight today. Otherwise, silently, I have been working with foreigners in 2004, almost 16 years. Now, because of the webinar, you are at home still enjoying the knowledge. And we are giving you all this knowledge at a very, very reasonable price. It is nothing, you see. For 4 sessions, more than 2 hours, you are paying to us only 1,000 rupees. So it is a very reasonable amount and you must take the benefit of this. When you will take then? If at this age you are not taking, when you will take? Because homeopathy is really very complex. You require a very mature analytical mind. And that is the real training. The real training is how you become more reasoning, more artistic, more creative in selection of the rubric, in understanding the case, maybe pathological, acute, chronic, subacute, a lot of things. You see, a lot of things which you don't know. When you start diving in the sea, how many fish characters are there? How many colors of the fish are there? Just open the discovery and you will know. Homeopathy is like this, you see. Homeopathy is like, you see, रंगी बेरंगी दुनिया है सब ह्यूमन बीइंग की, आपके सामने है. हम कितना उसको एक्सप्लॉइट करते हैं हमारे पेशेंट के लिए, हमारे लाइफ के लिए. That is all the training. And I hope that we will not disappoint you.
Okay.
And you will always say, yes, this attendance for these 2 years is a very beneficial point for all of us.
Yeah, there's
So
one important.
please attend this.
Yeah,
Please
one important
attend.
question is coming, sir. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt.
Yeah.
Constantly, they have been asking participants whether the module will be recorded. So could you explain that?
You see, I will explain you why it is not recorded. First thing is that I'm associated with many foreign organizations. If the recording is there, ultimately it comes on the YouTube, on the digital. Someone, you see, sends the recording to someone. So naturally, if it is available free of charge, then it becomes valueless. And I am at a major loss because the foreign organization will say, this video is available in the last 6 months on the YouTube. We cannot go with this subject. You try to understand my difficulty. This is my personal difficulty. You paid for each session the fee of 250 rupees. And now after a few minutes, it is available without any payment on the YouTube. How do you feel? Is it an injustice to you or not? Tell me. It is a big injustice, which I don't want to make. If you have paid, you must get something exclusively. This is the idea. And remember, we are not here only to give you information. We are not here to give you something which you know. We are going to give you something which will make you more understandable, more where you will find you have not thought of all these ideas. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why recording is not available. Yeah.
Second question is they're asking whether you'll be giving a certificate of attendance.
Yes, we are giving to you the certificate of the attendance. Further than that, after the first session is over, we are giving you the notes so that you can refer to them in your lifetime. These are free of charge to you only because you attended this. And this is a very huge material. To prepare this material, thousands of hours I have spent. So
Thank
you
you,
will
sir.
get
This is the biggest gift.
biggest gift. Yes, yes. This is the biggest gift. And for the Indians, I want to give it because the time has come now. Time has come now to give you this one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, on behalf of all the participants, I would like to say a big thank you to you. The reason is we want to first make India on the world map of homeopathy, a very, very sensible and very valuable homeopathic practitioners who would be taking homeopathy to the world. And who better than Dr. Ajit Kulkarni could help us. So friends, all those who have attended today's webinar or rather the module, at least one homeopath you have to speak to. If at all you want them to really excel in practice. I also have been practicing for almost 34 years. Sir has been practicing for almost 40 years. And if you have a good guide, if you have a good senior practitioner, because in colleges we always studied from the books more theoretically. But I believe that every patient comes to you is a unique case. There are no duplicates in practice. And you have to master that skill. That's why Hahnemann has said it's an art. Until and until you don't master the art, the observation, the body language, you will still keep going wrong in your practice. And every time you go wrong with your prescription, the disease will aggravate, the patient will get worse, bringing bad name to homeopathy as well as homeopaths. So my sincere request to all practitioners, it's a moral responsibility from you. You excel. We would be very happy that each of these 100 homeopaths here excel, not only at a national level, at an international level. So that, and please tell all your colleagues, do not sit with only theoretical webinar notes. If you don't understand those things, then it is of no use. You have to apply. We want something called as application of homeopathy in practice. You have to apply organon. You have to apply your materia medica. You have to apply your repertory with sound clinical knowledge. A lot of homeopaths do not have much clinical knowledge. They don't have much intensive care knowledge. You have to have a hunger to learn. I have done my intensive care for 4 years. I was the first posting which I did was intensive care. Because Hahnemann has very rightly written that in emergency, 64 aphorism footnote, only in emergency you can give allopathy to save the life. I said, if you can save life with homeopathy, there can be nothing more difficult than that. And I think Dr. Ajit Kulkarni is the true guide to all of us. I see him as the 21st century to 2021 Hahnemann of today. He has been writing wonderful books. We call him as a contemporary homeopath who will lead us all along. Thank you so much, Dr. Ajit sir, for your wonderful sharing.
Okay.
One or two questions we'll take up before we wind up. If anyone wants to speak, can unmute and speak to Dr. Ajit directly.
Yeah.
Sir, regarding the clinically verified rubrics, like as materia medica went on developing, symptoms, when we read the same drug, materia medica pura, Allen's Encyclopedia, having getting symptoms, Clark materia medica, or new authors like Vitulukas. So now many great stalwarts in India, all the stalwarts. Majority of the stalwarts from their experience, they have added certain clinically verified rubrics, like causticum cannot tolerate injustice, like anarchist. But in the source books, it is not mentioned. We say phosphorus is lively, bubbly, vibrant. Silicia is very studious, conscientious. But in the source, it is mentioned lack of confidence, mistakes in writing. In phosphorus, anxious person. So how to rely these clinically verified traits, certain traits? And so what I observed, so when I practice in cities where people are fulfilled basic needs, in those cases, traits were very clear, like art ability for confident. But in the rural area, I could see only deviation. So does it vary from place to place, society to society? the clinically verified rubrics, what is its importance, how to take it into homeopathy? I would like to know from your vast experience, sir.
Yeah, this is a very good question. There are a lot of additions in our Materia Medica and the repertory. However, these additions are made by authors, and I need to have a wide experience being related to this insertion of a new sentence in the repertory or Materia Medica. I will give you an experience, then everything will be clear. Long back, Krishnamurti was being treated by Vitulkas, J. Krishnamurti, the Indian philosopher, and he was held by Ethuza, our remedy which we give for the sake of vomiting due to milk. And the patient, Krishnamurti, improved a lot. Then what Vitulkas did was the whole picture of Vitulkas was being explained as a personality character of Ethuza. Now, something new about Ethuza we understood. But can you take it as the, universal realization only on the basis of one case that this is Ethuza? These are the points with these insertions. These are the points where we have to be very careful. Personally, I have opinion that you should rely more on the original database. And whatever logical transitions which you have to do must be based on rationality, logical analogy, doctrine of signature, which has to be rational, and your clinical experiences, not of one or two cases, but multiple cases being gleaned from several homeopaths in the world. I will see if the Ethuza picture, like Krishnamurti, matches with many people in the life of many homeopaths. At least 50 homeopaths came down with the same observation like Vitulkas, then it has a more clinically verified value. And you have very rightly said that causticum was not a remedy for injustice, issue. I cannot sustain the injustice and I have to fight and being an anarchist. It came up because of some cases which were observed by Vitulkas and other people. But if you see now, all over the world, this particular addition by Vitulkas has become a universal one. In my cases also, in the last 34 years I am practicing, I also found that causticum person is so compassionate and he wants to work for the society, not only for his own family. So naturally, whenever there is an injustice, causticum goes in the, movement. It is a crusade, it is a morcha, it is an andolan, and he wants to do for the welfare of the society. So this clinical confirmation of causticum has to be accepted. So acceptance level we have to do with some international committee in future. And this is the demand of homeopathy. We have to be more statistically oriented. We have to correlate ourselves. We have to be consulted, giving more rubrics to the people. And even new rubrics are being coined or new additions to the old rubrics. You have to have an international committee for this. You have to explain everything. Why did you include this one? For example, I prepared a rubric mucormycosis for the first time in homeopathy. I can give you my reasoning why I want to develop this, on the which basis. So if the basis is an author giving, he has to be accepted. Of course, his basis must be reliable. And this is a part of homeopathy where I think we have to work very hard and to make homeopathy more scientific. This is the idea. Currently, these are the issues, and you have to see that the information in homeopathy goes from very reliable to very doubtful. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir, we can call it off now. Thank you so much, participants, for your patient listening, and all those who are registered, be there on Sunday for the first session of the psychiatric module. Try to log in by 2:30 so we can start Any questions you have, we'll have 15 minutes before, but we'll be starting sharp at 3 o'clock. And it will be an every Sunday webinar. All those who are not registered in this group, I'm Dr. John here. You can note down my number. I will put it on the chat. It is 808-250-3370. You can call me or you can give me a WhatsApp. I will register you. As sir said, it is 1,000 for 4 sessions of webinar, and we have kept a convenient timing on Sunday afternoon between 3 to 5. Every month there'll be
have a good sleep and then attend. Otherwise, sleep after 5 p.m.
Yes,
okay?
Kindly be awake. Sir, you'll have to keep some alertness lessons to see in between 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the one who is very sharp at 5 o'clock will be given an award. Anyway, thank you so much. And who's speaking? Can we know your name?
Shobha Menezes.
Yeah,
and
Shobha.
it will be an interactive session also.
The way we were dealing today, this was a demo sampler for the Sunday webinar.
So they will give some cases to solve to us, and then we get
Sir is having a particular pattern of, because it's dealing with psychiatry. So can you just put an insight into how we will be managing psychiatry?
The first session will be giving some philosophical issues. I'm very certain you will be bored, but I need you to understand this because you don't know a lot of things. How the modern psychiatry is very close to homeopathy. This is the idea, to make you more proud of homeopathy. Then we have a lot of cases, illustrative cases, logical reasoning, interactive group discussion. We have a lot of subjects. I will give you a lot of thinking processes. For example, anorexia nervosa. What you know and what I know will be a difference.
Sir, any reference books? Any reference books?
I don't want you to read the reference book now because it is not so easy. I will give you the list of the reference books in the first session next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Give the notes at the end of the module.
At the end, I will not give it before because then you will be bored.
Notes at the end of the module you'll give.
End of the module. Every time at the end of the module, we will give, and we will cover group study of Materia Medica, a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was one question coming from Kerala. One doctor, I think I'd forward you, that he deals with a lot of cases of psychiatry in pediatrics. And so I don't know, you were suggesting whether we'll do it in this module or we can take pediatrics.
No, because this is a vast subject, we will have at least 1 or 2 sessions later on. I cannot go with the child.
Maybe we can take it in the part of pediatrics. We are talking about managing. In fact, a lot of homeopaths are having ADHD cases, autistic cases, dyslexia. I don't know whether the participant will agree. So a lot of inquiries are coming, and homeopathy has a good scope.
And I will give you some understanding of them, and in between it will be a part of our presentation.
Yes.
So sir, last question from me. I request you to give differentiation between psychiatric this is a typical psychiatric case, and this is a case which cannot be considered psychiatric, but still psychological differences. Say anger is there, temper tantrum. Temper tantrum cannot be a psychiatric case. Like the differentiation. So that
we will give you, because in our first lecture we have already defined all these issues, because this is a very big problem for a homeopath, where to keep the psychiatry, where to keep the emotion, where to keep the intensity of this. So these all issues we have to address from a clinical standpoint. There is a lot of work which has already been done over this. So we don't know this work. My job is to apprise you of all this work. So we will do this. Your question is very genuine question. We will do this. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. This will be handling Dr. Gauri. Very good question. And sir will be tackling it, I think, in the first session. All this.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you so much, participants. And all those who have not registered, I'm putting it on the chat box for the psychiatric module 1. So I'm Dr. John here. So I'll just write my contact number and you kindly register today itself. Don't wait for the last moment. There's few. See, we are looking to cover up 100. There are last few remaining. So if you are the lucky one, if you call me tomorrow, I don't know whether it will remain. But see that the number is 808-250-3370. And the amount is, you have to do what is called either Google Pay This is basically, and when we pay something, we value it more, and I think we keep it to heart, and we know what we have learned. For the last 1 year, everything has been going free, but I don't know how much that will be reproduced. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I take your leave.
Yes.
Yes. Take care.
Thank you so much. So take all of you, be safe and have a good weekend. Participants, I'm there, Dr. John. If you have any questions about registration, if you have any queries, anything you want to learn as far as psychiatric, there are 38 of them still there. You can,
Dr. John,
you can open the video so that I can see you. All of you can open, whoever is there.
Dr. John,
Yes, Shobha, tell me.
this is Dr. Shobha.
Yes.
I want to register, so I'll Google Pay on this number 8082.
You got my number. You just say hi to me. I will send you the details in 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll tell you hi on this.
So I will give you that. You can register immediately. And then
Yeah.
once you are confirmed, we have a group called as the Psychiatric Module 1 group. Already there are 80 homeopaths of all over India who are registered.
Okay.
And the 15-20 to go. So you'll be the lucky one.
So on this number, I'll tell hi, and I have to Google Pay on this number, or you give me a
that will come. The detail will come. We have a yellow. This details are there.
Okay.
I think I have your number. So in another 5 minutes, you'll get it.
Okay, because I want to Google Pay. You tell me which
you
number.
got it. You got a hi. So you already did it. Open your mobile.
What, Dr. John?
I did hi. Now, so open your WhatsApp.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
I just said hi to you. The webinar details I'm sending you. The number is correct?
Yes.
Correct, no?
Yes.
So I'm forwarding the details of the webinar right now.
Yeah.
It's a yellow. Got it? Did you get it? Shobha, did you get it? To become better homeopathic practitioner? Yeah. 4 sessions. Yeah, you have to pay the Google Pay 987079.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and the first session starts on Sunday. This is the old one I gave you. Actually, there's a new one.
Okay.
The old one was mentioned as June 3, which was Thursday. We have shifted from Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
Only the date change, rest everything is the same.
Okay.
All right, all the best and welcome to the webinar.
Thank you.
Take care. Anyone else? Or should we wind up the session? We are 25 of them. Okay. Bye-bye. Take care. See you all on Sunday.
Yes.